川普声援华盛顿100万挺川集会。环球网报道，俄媒称现场爆发混战。针对蓬佩奥在里根研究所的演讲，中共党媒称迄今最恶毒的攻击，蓬佩奥对中国使尽最后疯狂。美国务卿蓬佩奥称台湾不是中国的一部分。中共外交部表示再次正告美方。王毅月底获奖访日，外交部声称中日保持着各层级的密切交往。加拿大联合国大使谴责中共种族灭绝新疆，外交部回应没做功课，贻笑大方。自二战后，美军首次在珍珠港新建干船坞，党媒把为了对抗中共换成中国。内地富豪钱凤雷在港被砍，悬赏1000万港币缉凶。香港一尼泊尔餐厅突遭大火，致18人死伤，民政进亲赴现场。港警国安处举报热线启用1周，高调声称收1万条举报。
哎呀，我现在住在这个叫成都的锦江宾馆呢，这个酒店昨天晚上夜里12点多发现了一例他妈的疑似新冠。
11月15号，厦门市疾控部门在对厦门市某冷库进行常规例行抽检时，发现该冷库一份进口冷冻猪肉外包装新冠病毒核酸检测呈阳性。
西安阎良区也在进口的阿根廷冷冻猪肉外包装样本上检测出了核酸阳性。
今天，西安市疫情防控指挥部发布通报，阎良区发现进口阿根廷冷冻猪肉外包装样本核酸检测阳性。
中共国某地1.52元一斤急收稻谷，或粮食危机将至。中共央行断出最大份兑水，8000亿 MLF 净投放2000亿。中共国环卫扫地也展开，假象骗局早已见怪不怪。湖南邵阳朱家亭乡政府山顶建垃圾焚烧厂，污染环境，群众拉横幅抗议。河北石家庄一男子因无钱医治女儿，走投无路，欲将其淹死。
在新疆阿克苏市的2个火葬场旁边建有拘留营。报道说，这2个拘留营只是遍布新疆的拘留营网络的一部分。关押在这里的民众被送到附近的工厂参加强迫劳动，所以中共称这些拘留营为职业中心。而拘留营和附近的工厂是在2017年同步建设的。而距离拘留营不远，还有一处大型的火葬场，也是2017年建的。报道引述德国学者郑国恩的话说，火葬场可能用于掩盖拘留营的死亡真相，因为关押在拘留营中的民众很多是老年人，在不正常的生活环境中很容易染病。
不要看见别人这么漂亮的楼被拆掉，你高兴啊？将来都会均摊到所有买房的人的身上。 所以不要高兴得太早啊。
劳民伤财，武汉紧邻市中心的太平洋大厦凌晨爆破拆除，称因城市规划的需要。
While voter fraud deniers continue to proclaim the perfection of the U.S. election system, skeptics are looking at irregular patterns in vote data. In particular, software irregularities that would switch votes from President Trump to Joe Biden. Dominion Voting Systems is one such software that seemed to have a pattern of switching votes from Trump to Biden. How easily could bad actors have used Dominion to switch thousands of votes and alter an election? County by county, the answer is shocking. One American News spoke with Ron Watkins, a large systems technical analyst who has been poring over the Dominion Systems manual.
I was looking at this manual with the mindset of a penetration tester, of which I am. I'm reading the manual with a discerning eye and trying to figure out which parts of the system could be abused by end users. The physical security of the device is the first step to security. If you can't secure the physical device, then you have no security. It's impossible to have security if you don't secure the physical device. So you have the issue of the person who is inside the tabulation machine, which is just a normal Windows 10 computer. Are they manipulating the votes before it goes to the flash drive? And then you have the next issue, which is now the votes are on the flash drive. How does that flash drive get to the county commissioner or whoever is assigned to accept the flash drive? Is the same flash drive being sent over? So you could swap the flash drive. Theoretically, there's no accountability.
I don't think people have any idea of the dimension of the national security problem that Dominion creates. This Dominion company is a radical left company. One of the people there is a big supporter of Antifa and has written horrible things about the president for the last 3 or 4 years. And the software that they use is done by a company called Smartmatic. It's a company that was founded by Chavez and by Chavez's two allies who still own it. It's been used to cheat in elections in South America. It was banned by the United States about a decade ago. It's come back now as a subcontractor to other companies. It sort of hides in the weeds. But Dominion sends everything to Smartmatic. Can you believe it? Our votes are sent overseas. They're sent to someplace else, some other country. Why do they leave our country?
Yeah. We have sworn witness testimony of why the software was designed. It was designed to rig elections. He was fully briefed on it. He saw it happen in other countries. It was exported internationally for profit by the people that are behind Smartmatic and Dominion. They did this on purpose. It was calculated. They've done it before. We have evidence from 2016 in California. We have so much evidence, I feel like it's coming in through a fire hose.
Wow. So, Sydney, you feel that you will be able to prove this. Do you have the software in your possession? Do you have the hardware in your possession? How will you prove this, Sydney?
Well, I've got lots of ways to prove it, Maria, but I'm not going to tell on national TV what all we have. I just can't do that.
Okay, but you have a small time frame here. The elections are supposed to be certified in early December. Do you believe that you can present this to the courts and be successful within this just couple of weeks?
Well, let me put it this way. First of all, I never say anything I can't prove. Secondly, the evidence is coming in so fast, I can't even process it all. Millions of Americans have written, I would say by now, definitely hundreds of thousands have stepped forward with their different experiences of voter fraud.
know that you just spoke with President Trump, and I want to start. I saw you on the phone, but I want to start off with this tweet that President Trump put out because it's gone viral online, and a lot of people are saying that he is conceding. And here's what the president wrote on Twitter: "He won because the election was rigged. No vote watchers or observers allowed. Vote tabulated by a radical left, privately owned company, Dominion, with a bad reputation and bum equipment that couldn't even qualify for Texas, which I won by a lot. The fake and silent media and more." Rudy, he says he won. Is the president right now in this tweet conceding this election?
No, far from it. What he's saying is more, I guess you'd call it sarcastic or a comment on the terrible times in which we live, in which the media has said he won. But by going on to point out that it was illegal, obviously he's contesting it vigorously in the courts. The media has tried to call the election, and they don't have a legal right to call the election. It gets decided by our electors, not by NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, and even Fox. You don't get the right to call it. I don't get the right to call it. So he is contesting it vigorously.
Well, these two seats, as Lindsay well noted, are the last line of defense against this liberal socialist agenda the Democrats will perpetrate. We heard Schumer just last week say that if we take Georgia, we change America. We heard AOC say they have to have these two seats because they don't want to negotiate. They want total control. And so what's at stake is this, is that Schumer will change the rules in the Senate so they can do anything they want with 50 votes plus the vice president's vote as a tiebreaker. They'll pack the court. They want to add 4 new Democrat seats by adding 2 new states. And they eventually want to do away with the Electoral College. And that will allow them, Maria, to perpetrate this agenda that they've been espousing now through the presidential primary all year. And that is the Green New Deal. They want to defund the police, open borders. They want to have sanctuary cities. They want to cut the military spending after we've just begun rebuilding it after Obama's decimation of it. And then they want to take our private health insurance away. 180 million people, they want to take their private health insurance away. And again, the Green New Deal, which is the most exasperating part of this agenda, they are dead serious about it. So that's what's at stake here, is that we're the last line of defense, Maria.
We're here with Brandon Strzok and Ben Bergquam. By the way, we're blowing through the firewall into mainland China right now, getting tons of comments. My phone is blowing up. I want to bring in Prince. That's his nom de guerre. He's part of the New Federal State and the whistleblower movement. Prince, you're also the New Federal State of China. The diaspora is going to have its own rally tomorrow in Washington, D.C. Can you give folks, my phone has been blowing up all day. People, since you talked in the morning about it, everybody wants to know what time, where's it going to be. So walk people through the specifics.
Thank you, Mr. Bannon, for having me today. So I'm actually at the Washington Monument right now at the Sylvan Theater. It's overlooking the Washington Monument right next, it's actually right here in the plaza where Washington Monument is. We're going to be here tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. all the way until 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And everything's looking great. We've got our flags up. We've got the Trump sign up. And we're ready to show our support for the Constitution, for President Trump, and most importantly, to spread the message about the necessity to take down the Chinese Communist Party.
Prince, I got to ask you, one of the most prominent lawyers in the country, Lynn Wood, who's representing the president down in Georgia, his Twitter feed for the last 2 days has been directly at the Chinese Communist Party for their involvement in this fiasco we've had since President Trump's victory on November 3rd. Enlighten our audience. What is Lynn Wood talking about? How's the Chinese Communist Party involved in any way in this election?
Well, we know that the best and the biggest weapon of the Chinese Communist Party is their control of the media, is their propaganda outlets, right? Things like CNN, as well as Fox News, right? Fox News turned their back on us the election night by calling Arizona, and then later on by declaring Joe Biden the winner. I mean, since when does media declare winner of presidential elections, right? So last time I looked at the Constitution, it wasn't in there. So I think Mr. Wood exactly on point, and I think many more are waking up to the fact that the real threat comes from the Chinese Communist Party. They have their hands all over this election through media interference. But remember, this is a decade-long warfare the Chinese Communist Party has waged, not on just American people, but on the world. They've sent, tons of fentanyl to America. Since they joined the WTO in 2002, they've used economic theft, intellectual property theft to basically steal the middle class and the manufacturing base from America. So I think that people are starting waking up to the fact that the real enemy is the Chinese Communist Party, that we need to stand united. And united, we're stronger than them, and we will take down the Chinese Communist Party.
Prince, it's so great that you guys are down here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to have full coverage of the rally.
美国总统川普总统宣布的就是这个国家紧急法，大家都没有说明白。这个紧急法的宣布，它意味着什么？我告诉大家，它意味着两个最核心的任务、最核心的目的第一条，与中共脱钩，经济战经济战要记住这个，包含了一切不仅仅皮特纳瓦罗说的有30几家公司，还有100家公司。我可以再告诉大家，只有我们爆料革命路德访谈最早说出来脱钩的只有我们博士军团每天都在讨论我们的艾丽博士，我们的安红女士我们的博博士，现在我们的这个易博士、冠博士在谈的莫博士，就是脱钩。事实上就是为脱钩准备法律的前提条件，而且是不受任何影响的。脱钩不需要任何人批准大家不要忘了这个问题。那么这个意味着什么？所有在美国的企业，共产党的企业资产即将被查封，1块钱都不会给他留。所有的只要是中国管辖的企业，不管你什么公和私，也不存在什么你种石油种石化还有什么马云什么陆金所通通给你封了所以说兄弟姐妹们，第一个打响了经济战，做好了全面的政策和预热准备，更重要的是告诉美国市场脱钩已经是美国势在必行的势在必行的这个不是开玩笑的那接下来港币、人民币你就看得到了会什么样子。所谓共产党的吹牛的，今年不缺粮食大丰收，所谓共产党的上海还有香港的擀面杖的经济，以及所谓的大宗货品的市场，你会看到什么反应？咱走走看。第二个，大家没有看到里边更加的核心，所有经济战的背后的准备，就是一个现代化的网络战争的开始这个里面最核心的是针对这些网络企业。庞皮奥国务卿一而再再而三私下里边告诉，一定会推到中共的防火墙，在他手里边他一定会推到防火墙。
随着病毒大流行不断加剧，美国的感染病例超过了1100万。英国首相约翰逊与病毒测试呈阳性的人接触后，正在自我隔离。巴基斯坦第二波病毒感染浪潮势头强劲。马来西亚正在与疫苗生产商进行最后阶段的谈判，希望在第一季度之前推出免疫接种。英国将于2021年初开设2个新的大型实验室，进行冠状病毒的测试研究。由于航空旅行需求疲软，新加坡航空集团10月份的客运量下降 98.1%。在新的社会限制措施下，新加坡10月份私人新屋销售暴跌了 51.7%。在病毒大流行的当下，日本经济在7月至9月恢复增长。
Dear mama, are you okay over there? Your son is crying and missing you. and sees you in his dreams. You said take down the CCP, cause it's God's will, it's God's will. So I'll wait for you, and I'll see you when we end the CCP, yeah. So